Okay, so we've done a little bit of bag work. I'm just going to see if we can get some cows. We're actually a little fresh today, but see if I can get. Just push the others out, Ed. Nah, bring it out. It's probably a little bit quiet, this one, but we'll get a little bit of fizz knocked out of both of them. Yep, just come round to his head, Eddie. You need to be sat down. No. Just let me pick one out. Hang on, back out. Round behind, round to the head, behind me. Gently, gently, gently. Head, head. I'll just see if we get one more. Yeah, she doesn't need much. So we've got one of these little baldies. They generally move a little bit. Old eyebrows. Just give me some space. If you whack it up the arse head. No. Yeah, she was good today. But, well, he hasn't been out doing any work in a while, has he?
Bastard. He wants to play.
He does a bit. Oh, in a minute, just let me get this one sorted out. Well, she wasn't too bad in this, use this heavier ring snaffle. It drops out nice and easy and gives her a bit of a quicker release. If I'm light enough, which is always a bit of an issue. Eh? Yeah. She's definitely a lot more freed up, like she'll tracks with the cow and likes getting out to stop them. You can kind of feel her starting to read it a little bit. So a good little hit out. Worked her, did her dry work first. Worked her on the flag before working her on a cow. She was a little bit, she wasn't her best on the flag this morning, but she was okay. She has a good and bad days like everybody, a bit like me. Cows are pretty stale, but they're still, and for what I want to get done with her, it's really just trying to get her to connect up to them. Kind of read the situation, like she's tracking the bag pretty good and responds to that nicely and is lightening up from it. Come here. Come forward. Come here. There you go. Yeah. So we brought little Freckle out today. He's done a back leg about 5-6 weeks ago now. So we're just walking him out and about to give him a little bit of, he's been locked up in a smallish yard for a while, so just to start getting him out. He's going stir crazy in there, I think. I'll bring her inside and do it. So Iggy's pretty solid. Like she worked the flag again this morning, pretty good. I only ride her now a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a week, and then pretty rarely on a cow unless we got competition coming up or club day or something like that. And I get knocked a little bit because she can get pretty cow fresh, but she actually, for setting her up, because she's so cowy, I'll spend more time with her trying to keep her patterned and underneath me. She's always going to go with a cow, and it was never really her issue. She was too cowy and needed slowing up and holding off a cow, which a lot of that work I do in dry work and flag, and try and get as patterned as possible. And it's taken a while, but we kind of got there. She's just good fun to ride now. It's nice to have an older horse that you can just hop on, do a little bit of prep, and then go work a cow. We'll see. She'll probably be super fresh. Give her a little bit of a tweak up. We'll see how she goes. Alrighty. Give her a quick. Ooh. So most of her warm-up is backing up reverse arcs and using my feet to try and get it rather than hands, so that when she's coming through a turn, she's coming back underneath me more, which was always, when I first trained her, she was my first one I did for the snaffle bit, and I was more worried about getting with the cow than I was keeping her too patterned. So I kind of neglected it. You live and learn. But over the years, we did her through the Derby, and she went one-handed pretty good. It was just always a matter of her rolling up a little bit on her ends, and we kind of got getting there with her. She still does it, but if I set her up right, that's half the battle. She probably won't be too impressed with these stale cows, so we'll just see how we go. Keep her in hand a little bit, slow her up if I can, if this cow lets us get a little bit of work done. So I'm holding the cow side leg in her pretty heavy, hold her up, try and get that type of move. And the other thing is with her is trying to keep her to stop using her back end up, so cow side leg in, holding her, keep her pretty close. Just get another turn on this one and leave her. We'll go and see if we can get this baldy one out here. It might move a little bit more for us. I'll just get old baldy. She feels pretty good. Reading it a little bit better. Just kind of working it wherever so that I get used to holding her up, fading her off, pushing her about. Come on. Pushy little cow. cow will just come out with something. Actually, I might stay on it and see if I can get it around the other side and then quit it. There we go. Make her think she held it. Steady, steady. Round to the head, Ed, you're chasing it. You're chasing it. It feels like she's coming nicely underneath me, so. See what I'm getting. She's a little long here, so we'll see if she can come back under. There we go. That'll do. So yeah, so that's pretty much with her. It's just, yeah. Thank you, Ed. So we've come back down to the yard here. Ed's going to wash young little Freckle, because he's been just yarded up for a fair while. Get the gear off some of these. Give you a bit of rundown on these fellas. Got some new girths to put on as well, actually. Been using these Infinity girths, found them to be really good. So we got 4 new ones of these, which I haven't got on the saddles yet, but I think they detach off there, see, detachable off the Velcro, nice bit of fluffy. These I've got in 30, I've got 432s because I think there's only, probably Iggy's still in a 30. This one here actually is fairly deep girth, so she's in a 30 at the moment, but I thought I'd go to a 32 when I change them up. We've got only got the 4 horses now, so we've got a saddle for each one, so I don't have to worry about too many different chops and changes and, you know, cross-contamination and all that sort of stuff. But I found this to be really good. The only thing I find sometimes with the fluffy ones is when we get, if we're out more trail riding than anything, like you get a bit of, you know, grass seed and that in them, but other than that, really good, long lasting. Haven't had a drama with them. We've got one on that one already, and there's another one on that one there. We've used lots of different ones over the years, but I found those ones the last few years we've been using them. They've been really good. The other thing I've still got plenty of stock of are these boots that we get in. So if anybody's after a pair of splint boots, work boots, these I've got a heap of them here, old ones. I've just got them on. The black ones are the only ones I'm getting in now. So black, good for training in. I'm still showing them as well. I don't know, people get a bit obsessed with white ones. Problem with the white ones is generally when you clean them, you degrade the glue between, this goes for pretty much any brand, between the neoprene and the Velcro and, you know, stuff on the outside. And so they start delaminating, particularly if you've got really good sticky Velcro. These ones here, I use, they're basically the same boot front and back. So I stick mediums on the front, large on the back, got the protection. Just, you know, the tags have all been pretty good. The only time I ever found issues with tags, sometimes on the white ones, because they were super sticky, was, you know, people tend to, you know, when they're taking them off, rip them up, and that sort of starts pulling, usually the bottom ones, and would tear out if you're, you know, yanking them too hard. But on the whole, good boots, good value for money. $90 for a pair, so pair of fronts, $90, pair of backs, $90, so $180 for a full set if you're going to kit the whole horse out. Like I say, black ones last pretty much forever because people don't tend to wash them quite as much, and just give them a bit of a bang and away you go. So hit us up if you want some. Like I said, I've got about 25, 30 pairs of each, I think, kicking around at the moment. What else have we got going on? Oh, I bought some new stirrups when we were down at Tamworth. Like these, I'll show you the old ones I got. It's all personal preference with all this sort of stuff. So the ones I've been using for years, when I did the snaffle bit originally, I've been using these reasonably narrow. They'd be what, about inch wide. But I like them flat across the bottom, don't like the full curve. I found that pinched my foot in too much when I was riding. I like to have my foot all the way in, so boot wise as well, I generally get the higher heeled ones there, and then you can jam your foot straight all the way in and it'll hold it in there good. That's what I'm showing you, trail riding, that obviously a bit different. So when I did the snaffle bit, I'd opted to go for a wider pair, but I think I'll probably change those over. So I bought a new pair of these, are the older ones. I've had them for about 20 years. I've got about 3 or 4 pairs of them. They're a steel. They've got a fair bit of weight because I like mine to got to hang. So if you do lose a stirrup, I know where it is. Sometimes I found we got some timber ones there on the other ones. Well, they Donorell, I think they are. But I found if you're trying to find your stirrup, it was like flapping around in the breeze. So yeah, I generally stick with these rawhide covered steel with the sort of leather lacing, and they last for decades. So I found one pair at Ranchman's Saddlery. I got these ones down at the Futurity at Tamworth. Stuck them on this saddle, brand new set, perfect. So that's probably all we got going today. We'll give them all a bit of a wash and a groom, and whack them back out in the paddock, and probably do the same again tomorrow. Grab them out, do the dry work exercises. Hoddie's coming along good. She's pretty consistent now. She's softening up a lot. I went through a little bit of a patch there where she was kind of a little bit bracy. So I work her 2 or 3 times a week in draw reins, and just clip back to the side of the girth so they're not too extreme. And she works really soft in that, because when you go to get the pull, I've got it so you take up about a foot of rein, so she really feels it coming before you actually get to the sort of knot type thing I've got set up in them. Works really good in that, keeps her softer, keeps her sort of a little bit more collected, and then I'd switch over, sometimes I've got like one of those bungee connectors that clips up onto the bit. That way she's basically working against herself. She's lifting her head up, I haven't got to react to it. I can just work on steering. And then today just stuck her in a heavier ring snaffle. I was working on that with a set of just a martingale set of rings, and that just to get that quicker release, so that when I'm picking up, as soon as I want to drop her out, she'll get that quicker release with the heavier rings to drop it out of the mouth, the contact a little bit quicker. Other than that, strapper Eddie's still going, unsaddling. I better go and give her a hand. I won't get lunch. All right.